Okay. No worries. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, I can see
okay.
now.
So I believe you. We've not met before.
No.
On the CTO Web Games, I believe you had an interview with Jeremy, who's our head of engineering.
Yes.
So he'll be joining us shortly. Yeah. So how are you getting on this morning? How did you find the task that was sent over to you?
Yeah, actually it was fine writing Ansible playbook, but I think it was nice because it was really challenging to write a new playbook and it's setting it with a nice team to work on challenging to get this thing done.
Okay, so that maybe just before Jeremy joins, maybe I'll just have a little chat with you about your background because I've obviously I wasn't on the original call. So to talk to me a little bit about your previous role, just the one that your previous role. What were you doing there? What was your role there? Sort of what was your involvement with AWS?
Yeah. So when it comes to my roles and responsibilities, I was actually responsible for working as a DevOps engineer, working on various skills of cloud services, handling the CI/CD pipelines on the DevOps automation, cloud handling, the QA testing, and also with fundamentalizing DevOps infrastructure with the best practices. And in the auto scaling group, Elastic Load Balancer, as well as the Amazon Machine Images, like DB using Lambda functions, and also the Jenkins build job for continuous integration deployment. And working on Ansible playbooks with, the modules implementing CI/CD automation and managing the existing servers of the build configuration of multiple environments and handling them. So now for deployments, working on Kubernetes application as well as EKS building the integration tools and said that working with the auto scaling groups. And I also had good experience with them, like Terraform scripts, and also to improve the infrastructure, also working with the Artifactory and CI/CD with the Chef guardbooks, and ultimately boots in the Groovy scripts to automation the Maven, or on the Bash scripting to automate the system administration and passing the jobs to assist with the database environment. And working with the SonarQube to quality checks, to work with the integrative check with the application and pool quality analysis. Handling the installation of the firewall data handling and the JFrog Artifactory, and working with the creation of the SonarQube checks. And also working with CI/CD pipelines, deployments of public and private clouds, and in the Chef Ansible playbooks, and also with containers automation.
So what was the application you were deploying? What was the application you had deployed?
So
what did it do? Or like the main application you were supporting, what was that? What did that application do?
Oh yeah. So basically, when coming to the application side, we were actually deploying various kinds of applications. Like we were deploying some of the containers on Kubernetes automation. We were deploying .NET and Java application basically. So we will be also deploying some of the containers Kubernetes automation API, which was released, and yet so the centers to work to the release API and deployment on the container orchestration systems. We were able to do blue-green deployment of the Java and .NET environments and releasing them to the third-party continuous systems. And we also got a good Kubernetes command line interface, which was created. So this helped us to get the continuous stuff to the blue-green automation API.
Okay. Yeah. And what was the biggest challenge when working with these different deployments of .NET and Java applications in Kubernetes?
Biggest challenge. So yeah, I can say that applications. But some of the .NET applications as well as some. Mostly Java, some .NET, and also on the Kubernetes. Yeah.
But what was the biggest challenge of that? Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, what did you find the most challenging?
Yeah.
What took the most time? What took multiple attempts, etc. What broke on a regular basis when you were trying to deploy? If that was the case, I don't know. Yeah.
Got it. So I think containerizing the application into Docker containers as well as using various kind of validations.
Mhm.
This is one of the biggest challenge I have faced.
That was the biggest challenge. And what did you do to overcome it?
I think apart from that, maybe also looking at doing the refactoring on the code for some of the Kubernetes, because it is running on the premises systems. We have to refactor the code for the cloud. So basically, refactoring is a big challenge in some applications, because some of the applications and some have some entrepreneurs dependencies.
So that was the biggest challenge.
Yeah, Soviet body dependencies which have been resolved for the cloud, and these dependencies are sometimes a challenge to the resolved in the DPA code.
And in terms of how would you manage things like database access and things like that in relation to in relation to the applications?
Yeah, so basically coming to the database side, access side, we actually look at the various JDBC connections and various kinds of JDBC environments, which I didn't say that. So this input, but are limited looking at to the hybrid with the SQL queries, which are integrated. So we also look at the SQL and hybrid inquiries, which are handled. So once these queries are completed, we start with the connection object, which is created inside that, this connection object to help us to handle the entire service data handle.
Mm-hmm. Okay, should we move on and talk a little bit about the task? Obviously now Jeremy's joined us. Good morning, Jeremy. And talk a little bit through how you found that, and obviously talk us through how you, I guess your answers to the task in more detail. That would be good.
Yeah. Oh, I think he left again.
Oh, maybe he's having connection problems this morning.
Yeah. Join back.
Hi. Yeah. Hiya.
Yeah, there we go.
Hi.
Oh, apologies for being a bit late.
No problem. How are you doing today, Jeremy?
I'm good, thank you. Good, thank you.
Yeah. So if you want to take us through, Manny, how you, I guess the answers to the task and how you went about it, and talk us through the design, etc., then that would be good.
Okay. So, can I open the task now?
Yeah. You're going to share your screen, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, I can. I'm going to share my screen now.
Cool.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yep.
Yeah.
We can. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the task which I completed. I can provide you the public IP address as well. You can check it from your end. And this is the main server, which I have used to write and install Ansible and run the written all the playbooks. And this is the deployed web application.
Cool. So do you want to take us through the playbooks and any other
Sure.
codes you use to deploy it?
So, yeah. Do you want me to show my playbook in Putty or in the GitHub?
GitHub's fine, or whatever works.
Yeah, sure. Just a second. GitHub. Oh my God, I got signed off from this one. Just a second. it wasn't actually in the public mode, so you can check with this I mean the IP address as well. If you want, I can share. I can share you in the chat as well.
Oh yeah, that'd be helpful.
Now I think you can check it from your chart.
Yeah, that's cool.
You can check it from deploy web app, the main file, main YAML file.
Yep, so do you want to just talk us through it and discuss why your choices of why you went that route?
Yeah, sure. So firstly, when coming to the task wise, the task in the first task is to create an EC2 instance by using Ansible playbook. Okay, let me cancel the sharing and let me explain you from my document. Yeah. So what we have been doing this in this plans is that you can see the main goal. If you were to deploy the wrap party animal, this is where we are actually creating the instance. So in what we are defining the host on which you want to run this, obviously is going to like an local host, because we are running Ansible on the local machine. Now coming to the Amazon Elastic Cloud Compute instances, we will name it as a web in app. So we will define the region and VPC subnet ID, as well as these scripts, which will help also be defining the Amazon machine images ID and sending the public IP address or not. And we'll also access the secret to cloud instance as well as the built-in most. And we'll also check it in the private IP address that are added inside there in the built-in data. Then after the next it is actually go and install the Apache web server, and get the building environments. With the web content environment. From there, we'll also copy the web content with the Apache environment and get the system which is added there. So one of the content is pulled out, then we get the Apache environment installed data, and then finally we will use the built-in system daemon to the start to the state. To the start in the state to the entire application.
Okay, cool. So what changes do you think you would make to improve this? Make it
Okay.
What might be done to improve on this?
So I think we can do some changes like we get some of the secrets can be kept inside, in the HashiCorp core vault. Apart from that, we can also disable, you can configure parallelism if there are multiple hosts. And also we can configure a search optimization to make sure that you have authenticate using the SSH key, as well as the execution strategies for the asynchronous task and piping is aligned, disabling the host IP checking in a dynamic environment, as well as the optimization, and say that so we can also remove unnecessary files inside the backend data.
Cool. And how would you go about updating the web content? If I gave you a new version of those files, what would you do to update that?
Yeah, so when it comes to, if you want to update the web content with the new stuff, so if you see the web files, so there is a file called web. So in this case, I would say that we will actually keep this in S3 bucket. We can also in the web, we can keep it in the web folder, and you will keep the index.html or the public folder. We can also have a custom URL in GitHub, which can be pulled out and passed to the Ansible playbook as a parameter. And we can also pass the branch name of the parameterized folder.
Yeah, but so you would start up a new instance each time the content needed updating. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, Jeremy. No, it's not like launching new one. So it's like we will just update that one existing one. We can also update that using the destination IP. So we can even update it. Isn't a symbolic? I mean, symbolically as of now, I have just for the sake of this implementation, I have not done those changes. But then we can do it in the next implementation inside that.
Yeah. So what changes would you make to the playbook to make it be able to use to update content as well?
Oh, okay. So in the Ansible playbook wise, so for example, nginx update, the web root, I mean, we will actually do is a symbolic link. They will also add a like encrypt certificate for that, updating the HTML files inside it. We can also keep it on a S3 bucket and pull it from there. But I think the best way is to keep it on NFS mount, and then from the air we can use a symbolic link to reference that. And if it's small, so instead of doing it every time, we can just use a symbolic link to get that enabled sites from there, so that we would be great. I mean, it would be a great idea so that we don't waste unnecessary time and say that.
So you have multiple versions of the site, and then just use a symbolic link to define which one is the live one.
Yeah, so basically in the Ansible side, if you want to send link for HTML, we will actually have a current folder in this case. So in the building file model, we have a relative link. In this case, the software will actually be pointing the viewer, I mean www.html current. So in this case, the symbolically source path to the destination where www will validate and run the playbook command using Ansible playbook inventory file and make sure the playbook works. This way, without passing any extra arguments.
Okay, so the symlink will be on your local or the machine you're deploying on. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So it will be in the playbooks, and the playbook will be controlling it on the remote machine. And I would like to say that, yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. And what did you say the advantages of that were? Would be?
Sorry, Jeremy, I not get you that. Advantage.
So what do you think the advantages of doing it that way would be?
Okay,
Sorry.
So the advantages of this thing was that we don't have to manually update the source code inside that. Basically, where we will actually have the advantage for the data points. So in this case, we will update the source code in the backend side and trigger it on the top of that.
Okay, right. How would you expand this playbook if you had to deploy multiple web nodes, but with maybe different other services on that device? How might you go about that? So say you want one web node with PHP on it as well, one web node that's just serving static content, and then maybe another web node that's running.
Yeah, we will add more tasks to this actually.
Or something. So.
Yeah, actually, we will add more tasks to this. Actually, I would say that there is a first thing. So apart from that, also on the web node, we'll actually check it on the static content data, which is integrated there. So I'll be able to get the static content and also add multiple tasks for that. So this task is there for creating a basic content of the file. We'll also add some additional task outlays. So we can do the other task.yaml file, and which will have related tasks for installing some third-party dependencies or any other things, and say that.
Okay, so would you do it? So you just add more tasks to the same playbook, was that, or how would you structure it?
So if it is in the same context, so if it is the task is in the Ansible playbook for the same context, we can do it. But I mean by using the same play. and we can add a different YAML file if it's a totally different context like patch management. We can have another file. We can also have another file or another to host a completely different playbook, which is a region state that.
Okay. And what about if you wanted to say have a common set of say a user account setups on the machine? So you've got a fleet of different machines, and you want, but there's some basic common setup. So say between your database and your web nodes and your kind of back end processing nodes, and you just want to have some common utilities or common users or just some common stuff across those nodes. How would you manage that?
So for the common utilities, we will have a common playbook which will be actually held for the log management. So let's say we want to use a common module. We will go and have a separate playbook. The playbook will be called, or we can have an execution delivery which can be passed to the specific level. So in this case, the shell module will execute commands directly on the shell of the target host, and then it will be able to help a stronger to the shell on the module, which does not support the environment variables, and pipes to the other operators which are pulled out.
Okay, cool. There's a question in my mind that's completely gone. Anything from you so far?
No, I don't think so at this stage. I guess, I had questions around running serverless applications, but obviously the Kubernetes side of things has made that pretty clear. I guess have you worked with OpenSearch or Elasticsearch in that regard much at all?
Yes. We will actually working with the Elasticsearch services. For Elasticsearch Logstash, Kibana database, and also we be able to use some of our other environments in the Logstash data with the Kibana, and apart from that, also we are available to us in application orchestration, like limits to the service environment.
But mostly related to logging, I guess, in that regard, rather than necessarily any other application data, or with other application data also.
Other application, I would like to say this one, like we having the various kinds of stateful sets. So we have replication controllers to actually make sure that each of the board has specified number of containers inside that. So apart from that, on the Kubernetes is using a replication controller to replicate the entire pods on the CD nodes. So we will able to ensure that a specified number of border because running at any one point. So in other words, we were able to make sure that this automatically replicates and puts it on the terminated item for the similar process on the sub processes, and also the duplication component data with the integration items.
Yeah. Okay. Where are you based currently?
At present, I'm in London.
Based in London. And are you looking to stay in London, or what's your general plans in terms of placement?
Yeah, I'm happy to stay in London.
And so you're looking for a fully remote role in that regard, then?
Yes, that's not the same reason. To be honest, I'm flexible. I can work. Flexible. Yeah, I can work a remote or a hybrid.
Okay. How long have you been based in London for currently?
I think from the past 5 months.
Yeah. And so your previous role, where was your previous role out of interest? It doesn't say where on your CV.
It's completely remote.
It was completely remote. Was it for a UK-based company?
Yes.
Based elsewhere? Was that for a UK-based company, but you were working in India, or?
No, it's completely UK-based company.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Have you worked with Grafana at all?
Yeah. Grafana and Prometheus, these are the one of the mostly used tools which, in the regular basis, monitoring tools.
Yeah. So you feel quite proficient.
Yeah, responsible doing monitoring and metrics management and saved it, and also with the monitoring and metrics. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, that's good. No, I don't think I have any other questions, Jeremy. Unless you've got anything you want to go through.
I think that's all I had.
Have you done much with GitHub Actions and things like that? I guess you wouldn't be doing a great deal there. But have you done anything with GitHub Actions at all in relation to AWS?
Yeah, but in the GitHub Actions, I have just done some proof of concept for that. So in the Amazon Web Services, is able to automate the software workflows and also customize software deployments workflows right from the repository to the GitHub Actions. So we were able to set up the actions in terms of guide, which will also work on CI/CD in terms of response ETA to the GitHub action, and also with the workflow packages with the global CDN.
Yeah. Okay. And have you done much with Terraform at all? Have you done any work with Terraform?
Terraform, yeah. I have been creating infrastructure using Terraform candidates. So responsible for working with the various kinds of Terraform deployments and automation. So working with Terraform and trying to work on S3 buckets with state management, handling the Terraform nodules, and also using the various military resources. To create load balancers, auto-scaling groups, S3 buckets, and also CS channels. I also got on experience with Terraform teams and destroyed command to destroy unnecessary development environments, which originally.
Yeah, so you spun up whole environments with Terraform and spun down in that regard within AWS.
Sorry.
Have you spun up complete environments with Terraform in AWS, like VPCs? Basically all services related to the application.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you used Terraform in conjunction with Ansible or just independently from each other?
So when it comes to the VPC side, I was actually responsible for VPC application deployment with the Terraform estimation method on the application. So we were able to provision the infrastructure, isn't there for the fundamentals in the deployments and the BB API, which was integrated. So apart from that, and also working with a virtual private cloud, and also setting up the security groups and network. Security groups and networking. Network access control list. And working with the provisioning of the backend side, we also worked with the experience with the different dimension deployments, setting up routing tables, as well as routing of all the infrastructure as code with the virtual private cloud deployment, as well as automation and orchestration in the security group and network APIs, which was handled by us. So also understanding how the application is created on the third party. And now this is using the VPC pairing for the internal traffic.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Yeah, no, I don't have any other questions today, I don't think. Very informative.
Yeah.
Do you want me to share the public IP so you can just check the task, which I have done?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why not? Put it in the chat. Okay, I'm going to leave you to it, Jeremy, unless there's anything else. Yeah.
No, I think that's everything from my side as well. Yeah. So thank you for your time.
Yeah. And what would be the next stage, Jeremy? And
so the next stage is you'll get a general intelligence test through that you. Yeah, that's right.
The GIA and the PPA. Yeah. So you'll get two online tests through from HR. Mm-hmm. One very key thing to note with regards to the GIA test, Manny, is that time is a factor. So you need to make sure that when you're going through it, it's quite important that you answer all the questions in a timely fashion, because you'll get better marks for answering them quickly and maybe missing a few than you will taking your time and answering a few. So it's quite important that you take that into consideration going into that test. But yes, those will both be sent over by HR. And yeah, then we'll review those, and then we will be in contact, basically.
Sure. Thanks for that information.
Marvelous. All right. Well, thanks for your time, and I'll speak to you later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.